Speaking of the opposite of me, Dat Phan has a big announcement. Very exciting.
Certainly is.
As you know, Dat Phan and Friends, the comedy tour that's sweeping the nation.
We're able to basically rebuild the Dat Phan and Friends studios over in the East Coast. We're basically near the Lambertville area.
Can I jump in
Jersey,
here?
And then
Please.
This asshole infuriates me. Do you remember the last time we talked about Dat Phan? Where he's like, he goes outside and films a video, and he's like, guys, L.A. is burning down behind me. My house is fine, but the others, don't you feel bad for all of us collectively? I mean, again, my house is totally in fine condition. He's playing it off like, unless something happened that he did not tell us at all. Like, there was a video he had a couple weeks ago where he's like, we left L.A. by ground on Friday, but he doesn't say anything about his house. He says his house is fine. But now he's trying to tug at your heartstrings and be like, we rebuilt the Dat Phan and Friends studio. It didn't burn.
we're able to basically...
Well, that's what I was trying to figure out, too, because I don't know what the Dat Phan and Friends studio is. There's a curtain. Yeah, there's a curtain and a sign that they had made that's up behind them.
Yeah.
But he's saying that they're moving to the East Coast to New Jersey. Is this a comedy club? Is it a podcasting studio? He calls it a studio. Is it a podcasting studio?
So I was always under the impression Dat Phan and Friends was still, and I think he alludes to it in this video, but I think it's a Zoom conference.
Jesus Christ. Is that what he's talking about? Like, why? Then who cares where it is?
Right. No, I think he means like, I'm going to be in a different room. You guys will all be in the same room, and I'm in a different room now.
Are you, holy shit. Okay. I didn't even pick up on that. Let's hear this.
Rebuild the Dat Phan and Friends studios over in the East Coast. We're basically near the Lambertville area in New Jersey. And then in a few weeks, we're going to be over at another section of New Jersey / New York, right at the edge over there. So anyways, we have a few shows coming up. I think it's pretty much full at this point. We're going to run.
What's full? What is he talking about? What the room is full? The shows are full of comics?
I think he means the lineup is full.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, we have enough comics to do the show. So
why doesn't he communicate like a normal person? Like, he's been in show business for 20 plus years. He doesn't know how to communicate this information to us. I have no idea what he's talking about.
The show is full and there are plenty of seats available.
Right. That's what I'm saying. He's pretty much telling us, guys, I have a bunch of cool shit coming up, and you can't be there because it's already sold out.
I'm still focused on how worthless it is. It would be like if I said, guys, I have a big announcement. I have to rebuild my entire studio. Yeah. And people in the chat were like, oh, no WATS the next few weeks. And I was like, oh, no, I'm just going to do it in a different room. But I kind of want you to feel bad for me.
I'm going to bring my microphone and the sign behind me and put it in a different place.
It'll actually be literally no difference to you. But I just wanted some pity for a few minutes.
You see, it was so somber, too.
I know.
The thumbnail that I created for this episode that we're doing is from this TikTok video. I put Dat Phan in there, and he looks like he's on the verge of crying.
You are right, too, with how confusing it is, because he's apparently talking about a comedy club or comedy show or something.
I would have thought a comedy club the way he's talking, but he called it a studio. So.
And he's like, it's in New Jersey, and next week it's going to be in a different part of New Jersey. So no one. What are we going to drive around the state, Dat, to find you?
What is he talking about? And he's like, we're going to be in the Lambertville area. As if that's a well-known area. I've never even heard of Lambertville.
Just roll your car window down, and when you don't hear any laughs, you're in the right place.
Mike, where the fuck is Lambertville? Have you heard that before?
I have no fucking idea.
Okay, all right, good. I'm not alone.
I run some test shows. Actually, it's all online until I can get the main phase studio situated. I apologize. I'm a little bit out of it. We've been traveling for very, very long, and we're also dealing with a new location.
Because he travels everywhere by car.
Correct. He doesn't make any money.
It took him weeks to get to New Jersey.
Right.
It's a $300 flight, Dat.
Permanent address of the new Dat Phan and Friends studio near New York, near Manhattan. So,
who says it near Manhattan? I've never heard that before, guys. Just so you know, that where we're going to be is like near Manhattan.
Well, just come to Manhattan and then circle outwards. Get a good,
do you know
radius and explore.
Mike, do you know how many places are near Manhattan? It could be upstate. It could be Connecticut. It could be New Jersey. It could be Pennsylvania.
You're overestimating. There's only like 8 million people in Manhattan. So I imagine it's not that trafficked an
It would be
area.
near Manhattan. All right,
It's
cool.
not the
I'll
most
see you there.
congested city on the planet.
I'll see you there, buddy.
Very excited. Look forward to seeing everybody. Am I missing anything, Katie? All right. I hope that works out. Hello, everyone. Very good news. I'm very excited. We were able to, with the help of many people, including my wife, Katie, we're able to basically rebuild the Dat Phan and Friends studios.
The beginning started at the end.
You're exactly right. Yes.
The edit was all wrong.
Yes. He ends with, hello, folks.
Yeah. I like that he goes, very exciting news. And this is how I deliver very exciting news, is in a monotone voice where I seem defeated, but it's also very exciting.
This is great. We've got some hysterical comedy prepared for you. Get ready to laugh.
This whole thing, Dat Phan and Friends. Imagine someone accusing you of being one of Dat Phan's friends.
Oh.
There isn't a more insulting thing you could say to me.
That's a
You're just
lawsuit.
Yeah, right. Yes, I'm cease and desist. You're accusing me of being Dat Phan's friend?
I'm barely an acquaintance.
Fuck you. How dare you?
I didn't realize it was on Zoom when I agreed to it.
What a weird way to build this whole show, especially because, I'm kind of into branding and stuff like that. Like, this brand is fucked. Christine Knowlton is a regular. You can't. You can't bill something as Dat Phan and Friends and expect anyone to give a shit. Change
But
it.
usually to Stuttering John's credit,
Yeah.
Stuttering John and Friends was like, oh, the guy from the Howard Stern show. There's probably going to be other people from the Howard Stern show. Cool.
Right.
I'll go.
Yeah.
Dat Phan and Friends. Ralphie May is dead and never talked to this guy. Well, who else is Dat Phan associated with? Like,
Right. He was a
he has no
contestant on a
friend.
game show that you have to win by yourself. You don't team up with people. You got to go out there and do it. So why would Dat Phan have funny friends?
No, the only people I want to see, the only friends I want to see Dat Phan with are Patrice O'Neill and Rich Voss. And one of them is no longer with us.
Yeah. What was that? Probably not going to happen. All right. Here's another one from our boy Dat. He's always putting out great TikToks.
This is what you're going to see if you so go to Manhattan and then venture outwards.
Yeah, then leave. Right. Yeah. It's near. You're close. When you
And
get to Manhattan.
eventually you'll find this.
I learned that Connecticut does not face the Atlantic Ocean. It faces an enormous country called Long Island. Have you guys heard of Long Island? Long Island. Long Island is massive. I don't know if you guys know how massive it is. I was in Manhattan. I got on Long Island, beginning with Queens, and then I started going further east. And then what you do is you pass Queens, and then eventually you pass Vietnam, and then Saudi Arabia. And then eventually you reach Maine.
Am I right,
That's
folks?
where... That's...
I think you should name more places. Wouldn't it be funnier if he said more places that are not close to each other on a map?
Vietnam, that's way further than Queens.
No, but then there's Tokyo. Hold on, listen to this. And then Alaska.
I
The
want
North Pole.
Dat Phan has to be more specific for legal reasons. I wanted to be more specific about these friends because they should all be jailed for what they're doing. Laughing at this man, it's wrong. It should be
You're
illegal.
part of the problem. You're part of the problem.
They should be jailed for this.
I know there's a lot of protests going on across the U.S. and in other countries, and they're protesting things like wars and foreign policies. Why aren't they protesting Dat Phan and Friends?
Well, because you have to drive by that war to get to Long Island. Good night, folks.
Somewhere along the way, you pass Boston and Cambodia. We just can you please just come
Oh,
on?
okay,
Visit?
good. He did name a couple more places. That was good.
Yeah.
The rule of 6.5s.
Yeah. Well, what's really funny about it, you aren't laughing, so I'll explain it. I live in
Please.
Boston. We're nowhere near Cambodia. It's not even close.
Oh, yeah, no, that's right. Cambodia is like
That's how
in
far
Asia.
this would have to be.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's almost like Long Island is appropriately named.
Yeah.
Huh.
And who's it? This is for commuters from Long Island, where it's like, we do have a long way to drive into the city.
Wait until he talks about how green Iceland is. That's really killer stuff that he does.
But he's supposedly in New Jersey. Like, who would give a shit? So yeah, that's why I don't go near there, I guess.
Oh, this continues.
Is it us? Like, we're 3 blocks from the. Like, that's how the bribing is, you guys. The bribing is like, come out here. There's less homeless. Will you come do a gig out here? And you're gonna be like, well, how the am I supposed to bring people? There's no homeless people. That's who I was gonna bring in. I learned that Connecticut does not face.
So that's his wife laughing, right?
I believe so.
The stereo laughter that I'm hearing just in my right ear. She's just sitting right next to one of the other microphones.
Among countless others, that is
hysterically laughing at that stuff.
I don't know if you caught
No, the joke was the same joke every time. It was Saudi Arabia, Cambodia.
It's a great
Boston.
distance.
Like, wouldn't you like throw out like Venus? When you like go somewhere that's even more outrageous in order to bring it to the next level?
Somewhat believable. Come on, that's a different planet. I don't think you understand.
Oh, okay.
This
I'm
nuanced
sorry.
bit.
You know what? I'm an idiot. Good point.
But there is something very subtle that he throws out there.
Okay.
He goes, "How are we supposed to bring anybody?" Dat Phan, 25 years into comedy, is doing bringer shows.
Oh, you're right.
Where he has to bring.
Holy shit.
The friends are a pivotal part of his name. He needs them to be the audience.
We say this to Ray DeVito and Chad Zumach and a lot of these guys. Like, you got to give up on comedy. It's just, it didn't work out. You tried. You had a peak. A thing happened. That's neat. 25 years have passed. Move on.
The phrase "never give up" is
a horrible thing. Yes,
it should be followed by "to an extent." Like never give up until it's clearly time to give up. Then obviously, find something else.
Does he have family or anyone to tell him like this isn't working?
They're in the audience. They're too busy laughing.
Well, he's got that mom. He can't even understand the mom.
Oh, don't get me started. Go to blindmike.net for Blind Mike, or go to whoarethese.com for Carl, and make sure you subscribe to both channels, or there will be no banter.